Good day and welcome to today's tutorial. In today's tutorial, you're going to learn how to make this pliable and weather-friendly fondant. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. Trust me, you don't want to miss this recipe. For this recipe, I'll be using 500 gram of powdered sugar or icing sugar. I'll also be using gelatin, CMC powder, and also glucose syrup. That's the liquid glucose. So before we start, it's always advisable to sift your icing sugar or your powdered sugar so that you can dissolve any lump that might be in it. That way it will be easy for you to work with it. So to the sugar, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of CMS powder. So after sifting, we set that aside and work with the wet ingredients. So for the wet ingredients, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of water, ordinary water, in a stainless bowl. Please make sure you use a stainless bowl or any bowl that can withstand heat. So what I added in the bowl is half tablespoon of gelatin, and I'm going to add another half teaspoon to that. That's half tablespoon and half teaspoon of gelatin to the 3 tablespoon of water. So we'll allow that to dissolve. Then put it in a bowl of boiling water or previously boiled water so that it can dissolve properly before you add liquid glucose to it. When the gelatin is properly dissolved, it is now time for us to add the liquid glucose. We are using 1.5 tablespoon of liquid glucose. When the gelatin and glucose are properly dissolved this way, you can bring out of the heat and it is ready for use. So you make sure you use this immediately before it cools. So you create a well at the center of your icing sugar or your powdered sugar and pour in the gelatin and glucose mixture. After pouring in the mixture, you begin to mix like I am doing, carrying the icing sugar little by little. You see that I did not pack all at the same time. I did not try to mix all of the icing sugar with the mixture at the same time. I was taking them gradually. At this point, if you are not patient, you might begin to ask yourself whether you're using the right recipe or not. But believe me, you are on point. It's just that the process will make you question your recipe if you're doing it for the first time. So I intentionally did not skip this part because I want you to see the process of how, I was able to mix all the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, so that when you're doing your own, you'll be patient enough and be able to, follow this process and get it right. You can see after all the struggles, I was able to combine it together. So this icing sugar that I'm using on the table is from the 500 gram of icing sugar. Is from this recipe. That I'm not taking anything out of this, outside this recipe. That's the one I missed, and the one I'm using on the table now is from the 500 gram. I removed about 5 to 6 tablespoons out of it after sifting, so that I can use it on the table to prevent it from sticking. You can also use corn flour on your table. Also, you will notice that this fondant after mixing is hard, but don't worry, just continue to knead until you get a very stretchy and pliable fondant. This fondant, you can use it in all weather, whether the dry season or the rainy season. So after properly kneading, you just shape into a ball or into an oval shape. Insert it into a ladle. I'm using the icing sugar ladle, and also wrap with a paper towel and store in a container. Please don't put fondant icing in the freezer or in the fridge. If you've learned anything from this tutorial, please support my channel by subscribing and also hit the like button. Thank you, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye.